Hey everyone, greetings from Vienna. Wow, I look tired. So this is, sorry about the lighting. This is my first evening in my little hotel room. I'm staying at actually a part of Vienna that I've never stayed in a hotel. I usually prefer to stay in the kind of center of town. But this time, because I'll be going to an art course with a friend, that the art course is like a bit out of the center, or yeah, it's a bit away from here. So I picked a place really close to her, and it happens to be next to the Prater. If you're familiar, it's like a kind of a really nice old style a little bit. It has a bit of a vintagey feel, amusement park. I'll try, if the weather is nice, to show you a bit around because it's really pretty. And my plan, we'll see if this will be just me talking to the void, is to at least kind of talk to you and give you updates every day. So this course that I'm going to, it's supposed to be mostly, I have to say, I kind of decided to go to it because it's with my friend that I love, and just, you know, wanted to hang out with her and paint. But it's probably not exactly the course that I would pick because I don't do these things very often or at all. I was trying to think when was the last time that I stayed by myself in a hotel room. And I have been fortunate to, you know, travel with my family and also travel with friends. So like meet friends in different places of the world. So I have traveled by myself quite a bit and then meet up with people. But I think the only time probably, there's been like a handful of times in my life where I stayed alone in a hotel. The last time that I can remember was 7 years ago when I went to teach a scrapbooking course or classes in Norway. And yeah, so I did that alone with Lily, my 6-year-old, in my tummy. I was 7 months pregnant. So I wasn't completely alone. She was with me. I took her to Norway, but I think that was the last time. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I think so. So as I said, like I've traveled many times by myself over the years because I have a lot of friends that don't live in the same country as I do. So I either go visit them or we try to meet up in like cool places. Like I met a friend in Rome before the pandemic. But yeah, but then I'm not alone in a hotel. So yeah, it's kind of weird. You know, especially if you are a parent, you probably can relate to, you know, you're always like taking care of people. And yeah, so we'll see. My room is very basic. I kind of picked the cheapest hotel I could find in the area that had a normal rating on booking.com. Just because, you know, I don't need anything fancy. I just need a clean bed and a nice shower. So I can show you, but I'll show you also. This is fun. This is my pretty bag that I got from America and Beyond, I think the shop is called. And isn't it pretty? So here I have my knitting and crochet projects that I brought with me in hopes of, you know, just doing that when I'm hanging out in the evening with myself. And I'll try to film as much as I can, yeah, during the days. I don't know how it'll go with the course because, you know, there's like other people around and I get very self-conscious and I don't know if they want to be filmed, and I also just want to be in the moment and kind of experience it, but I don't mind talking about it. So I hope to do at least like a check-in sort of thing. I don't know, is my room interesting? I'm pretty sure it's not, but let me show you around. So that's it. Ta-da! The big reveal. It's a tiny room with a nice bed, with some nice white sheets, and my pretty bag. There's not a lot to see outside the window. It's now kind of dark. I'll show you maybe another day, but it's just like buildings. There's a little mirror here. That's me. And sorry if I'm giving you a bit of dizziness. Toilet, very, very important. Nice, modern, clean shower. That's how I like it. And a sink. And that's me again. And yeah, that is all there is to it. That's the big tour. I hope you enjoyed it. I think I will, you know, take a shower, like get into bed with my knitting or crochet, and yeah, watch some TV. I don't know, the only channel here, everything is in German, which I understand, I speak German, but I can't say that I enjoy watching any American or British show in German, because they like dub everything here. It's quite horrible. And I'm saying that not as someone, I'm saying that as someone who's, you know, my native tongue is not English. But where I grew up in Israel, the children's shows are all in Hebrew, which is the language we speak there, or most people speak there. But all of the like grown-up shows, or even like teen shows, they're not dubbed. You have subtitles in Hebrew, but everything is in the original language. And that's, you know, part of the way that we learn English. So yeah, I went to the University of Seinfeld and Friends and the Beatles and all those things that helped me learn English. That's why I speak so good now. I know that was wrong. So yeah, but here everything is in German, and it's just like when I met my husband, who is Austrian, I've always been, you know, the world, the people, you can divide people in the world to two groups, the ones that love Seinfeld and the ones that don't. I am definitely a Seinfeld lover, and I can find, you know, the appropriate episode to fit pretty much any situation in my life. And when I met my husband, he was like, yeah, it's not funny. And I was like, I don't know if I can be in this relationship. But then he watched it in English. Now he gets it. So he's also a fan. But yeah, I tried to watch it a little bit in German. It's horrible. Like, it's just horrible. If you come from a German-speaking country and you've only watched Seinfeld in German, please, please, please watch it in English, because I don't know, the translation just ruins the whole show. I mean, I haven't seen a lot of episodes, but what I've seen was like, cringe. See you tomorrow. Bye. Good morning. This is day one of my week in Vienna. I have to say it started with a bit of a relief, because yesterday when I left, of course, one of my kids had a real annoying tummy pain. And for those of you who don't know, in my previous life, or my life before becoming an artist, I was a doctor. And so I know all the bad scenarios and all the like differential diagnosis. I was quite sure, you know, sometimes one of the biggest decisions is to decide which discipline to go into, or like what to specialize in. But I immediately knew in like my first day that I wasn't going to be a pediatrician, because I can't take it. I can't take it seeing kids sick and hurting. And, you know, even though most of the time they get better despite the medical treatment, you know, it's just too hard. There's a thing, I know this is completely unrelated, but if you are a part, and I know some of you are because we talk outside of YouTube as well, if you are like a medical professional or health professional, like mental health or something like this, there is something that in our personalities that I feel, this is what I think, let me know in the comments if you agree. I have talked about it with several colleagues, and it seems to be the same way for them. There are places that you go to, or like people that you treat, or, you know, certain departments that, you know, if you're what I would consider a normal, empathetic human being, you feel for them, but you still manage to kind of keep a distance, go home, have a normal life, and, you know, for the most part, leave all that sickness and sometimes death at work, and just be able to function as a normal human being. And then there are some departments or some, you know, disciplines or areas or certain kind of sicknesses that it just gets to you. It gets to you on a level that you can't, I don't know, I feel like you can't sustain it long term to keep your sanity, basically. And it's interesting because my grandmother was also a doctor, and she was a pediatrician, and she actually didn't want to be a doctor. She wanted to be a journalist and like study languages and stuff. But yeah, her family was kind of like, you need a serious profession, and that's medicine. And so she went to medical school. She didn't want to. She had nightmares about it, I think, till her 70s, about the exams. But my grandfather told her, you know, you love children so much, so just go be a you know, a children's doctor. And that's what she did, and she was amazing at it. And yeah, for her it was like the best, because she said like nothing is, you know, disgusting about kids and everything. And I understand that, and still give me the old, the poor, the very, very sick. That is just, I don't know, something I can deal with. But sick kids, or, you know, stupid people that hurt their kids, this is like stuff I can't tolerate. And I had the same experience with psychiatric patients, especially when you see, like for me, when I see young, highly intelligent people that are just so seriously sick that, you know, the thing with mental illness, it's like the sort of thing, you know, even when you go beyond the stigma and beyond the fact that, you know, nowadays, like it's much more acceptable and recognizable, and like it has names and everything, it's still hard for, of course, for the people that are sick, but also for the surrounding. It's just because when your mind is affected, it's just, yeah, I couldn't keep that at work, you know. I would go home and like think about it, and it would just affect me in a way that I felt like I can't live like this, like dealing with this all the time. Anyway, I chose internal medicine. I was like, yes, yes, old, very sick people. You know, the average age in my department where I worked was probably, you know, somewhere between 70 and 80 when we got like a 40-year-old. I'm now over 40, but when I was there, I was a bit younger. It was like, yay, the baby of the department. So yeah, just a side note. But yeah, anyway, so I examined my kid's like tummy, stuck my hands deep in there to see she didn't have like appendicitis or something. My husband is also a doctor, so I know, you know, she's in good hands. And well, I'm painting, but you know, on one hand, I'm glad I'm only in Vienna, so I'm like less than 2 hours away, so I can be home very, very fast. I'm not abroad or anything. But on the other hand, you know, I came here to paint, and even though that's my job now, that's kind of my passion, that's what I love to do, I still feel, okay, I should be home with my kid and not thinking about myself. But yeah, she went to school today, she's feeling better, so I'm going to enjoy my painting time. I'll show you a bit outside. There's not a lot to see because it's all just like buildings, buildings. This area, as I said, it's right next to the Prater, and I wanted to show it a bit to you, but today is like so gray and it's cold and windy outside. Hopefully there'll be better weather at some point this week so I can show you a bit around. It's very cute and pretty. And I also had breakfast in a really cute place, but I was a little bit embarrassed to take pictures and film. I might do that some other time. Yeah, so day one, I'm soon going to go into my car and drive to the place where the course is. I'll take my camera with me, but I don't know if I'll feel comfortable. Maybe I'll just take like snapshots of my progress and artwork. We'll see what happens on day one. I am excited. It's fun to learn. I've never had an in-person art course as an adult. When I was in high school, I took some, like, just some art classes. Um, but yeah, this is something totally new to me. So I'm looking forward to it. And I've talked too much. Okay, end of day one. Hopefully I can insert some footage here of just a little bit of, you know, what we made today. Today was kind of prep work, and the artist who's teaching this course, he mostly paints with, well, I guess he does kind of abstract landscape. There's a lot of texture and just the use of very interesting materials. His thing is kind of like painting with sand in the deserts, and probably said that already, but yeah, so today we kind of worked on the first layers. So it's kind of mixing this I don't know how it's called, but you know, it's like a powder. You mix it with binder, and then you put it on your canvas, and then it cracks, like crackle. And it just reminds me that Ranger has also like versions of these things, but obviously here it's like on a larger scale, and you kind of mix everything yourself, which is one of the things that I think to me are most appealing about this, because as I've said, like, acrylics are just, I don't know. I mean, I think there are so many advantages to working with acrylic. It's very easy in so many ways, but I'm just not as excited about the medium as I am about just watercolors or even oils. But yeah, so today we just kind of made the kind of groundwork, and then we also mixed Fliesenkleber in German. So like tile adhesive or glue would be, I guess, just the layer you put before you add tiles on top. So we mixed that also ourselves. So that was pretty cool, just to, you know, learn to kind of get the right texture and put that on the canvas. For me, I'm just, you know, keeping an open mind, learning the techniques, and kind of trying to not overthink things and just like do what I'm taught and still kind of use my aesthetics and, you know, a composition that I enjoy. But yeah, I like painting on canvases. I wish I could paint on canvas with watercolors. I've said that many times in the past. I know there's watercolor medium, but it just doesn't behave like watercolor paper, so I'm not a fan. But yeah, I really love texture. Texture is one of the things, you know, color and texture are those things that really get me excited about painting. And yeah, so we're doing a lot of like stuff with texture. We also added some sand. That was really interesting to see. So that was fun. And you know, the space is like, I took some pictures and hopefully I can show you. It's just like a huge space, and you can like splatter stuff, and you don't have to worry about ruining the floor or anything like that. So that's also quite a luxury, and a big difference for me that I'm used to like painting in my own little desk with my, you know, little watercolor palette. It's quite fun, and definitely kind of reinforces my thought that I would really love to have like a studio space at some point in my life where I just have, you know, like some concrete floors I don't have to worry about if they get wet or paint or full of paint. So yeah, that's day one. After the course, I went back to my hotel and I went to the supermarket and I just bought something there to eat. Not super exciting. My motto for usually for life is make every meal count, but it's, I mean, this whole week is, the course is not very expensive in my own opinion for like a week-long course. It's actually really, really well priced, but because I have to also pay for a hotel and pretty much every meal that I eat, I don't know, I'm just trying to keep my costs kind of down. So yeah, so I decided to go for a supermarket meal of actually not bad. It was like some vegan gyoza and sushi, so can't complain there. But yeah, I wish I had more energy to go out and walk around. Tomorrow, that's the plan. After the course, I hope to go with my friend to Vienna, like to the center a bit, and walk around and then eat in one of our favorite places, which is called Ramien. If you're ever in Vienna, I highly recommend Ramien. And don't even bother looking at the menu. Just order the curry soup, Ramien curry soup. There's a vegan version and it's perfection. And they make these noodles in-house, kind of like really, really yummy noodles. They're like the best noodles ever. If you like udon noodles, it kind of has the same vibe, but I would say a bit more delicious. So yeah, that's the plan for tomorrow. I think now I'm going to watch episode 2 of We Crashed. I heard about this show. I usually don't watch Apple TV because I watch like stuff with, you know, like for an hour in the evening with my husband. And yeah, we don't have Apple TV on our television. I don't even know if you can get Apple TV on your television. Probably you can because it's an app, right? But I don't know. I have it on my iPad, and yeah, so now when I'm alone and I have an opportunity to watch something. So I knew about it and I knew Anne Hathaway was in it, and I really like Anne Hathaway. I mean, thumbs up for Devil Wears Prada. Sorry, had a blank brain moment there. And yeah, I didn't know that, you know, the main character is an Israeli guy, and it's played by, I think it's Jared Leto. I didn't even recognize him. I think he usually has like a beard or something, right? I totally didn't recognize him. And it's just funny to me, the nice Israeli accent. It's actually really good, I have to tell you, as an Israeli. I really appreciate that I know he's considered like a very method actor, and I have to say his Israeli accent is perfect. I know my accent, like just by people telling me, I know it's not super Israeli, just like a hint of an accent, but most Israelis do have his accent. And yeah, I don't know, he just it's like from the very beginning, it's very, very obvious. And he talks about that he's from Israel and he's from the kibbutz, and I didn't know that. So it's always funny to me, like, to see the Israeli connection. We'll see what day 2 brings. Hopefully art and nice curry soup. So, oh, the gyoza is also good there. So if you go to Ramien in Vienna, it's next to the museum quarter, like where there are a couple of modern museums, very, very good, like the Leopold Museum. That's a really good one. So if you're ever there, go to Ramien, order the gyoza, then order the curry soup. If you're a vegan, get the vegan version. If you're not, there are other possibilities. And yeah, you'll thank me later. So I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. It is day 3 of the art course. I am all in all really enjoying, but today was probably the most challenging day because, you know, it's that step already, or that stage, and I try to take regular, sorry about my phone making noises. I try to film regularly and show you like where I am with the painting, so hopefully I can insert that footage here. But it's just getting to that stage where there's already kind of a lot going on the canvas, and I feel like there's a lot more thinking and a lot less doing, and when there's doing, it's more and more subtle and detailed. And you know, the good thing is that I'm working on 6 canvases, so I have time to like do something on one thing, then let it dry and work on something else. But I don't want to, you know, do anything just for the sake of doing. I feel like at this point I kind of need to visualize the next step before I actually do it. But it's all kind of it's all a process, and I feel that even though the medium is different, because we're painting, or at least I'm painting abstract, the process is very similar. What I like is, obviously with acrylics you get to, you know, you can cover things up, and once it's dry you can't like disturb the previous layers. So if you put another layer and you don't like it, you can just like wash it off, and everything underneath that you did before will be preserved, which is great. So it's very forgiving. But on the other hand, I feel it just means you can work on one painting forever and ever and add more layers. And then as you add them, you kind of lose the, I don't know, it's just at some point it becomes like overworked, and I don't know if I like that look. But you know, I'm here obviously to learn new things, and I think a lot of the things that we're doing, I could definitely use those techniques with watercolors, or I don't know, just feel a bit more comfortable using acrylics. What I like also is that even though I have to say at some points of the day, I really miss my fluid acrylics from Golden that I have at home and I just didn't bring with me. I don't know, I didn't think about it. I didn't really know what to expect with the course, and there was like a list of materials. Mostly we're mixing our own paint using pigments, water, and acrylic binder, which I also find like really interesting. And just working with pigments is just, you know, it just gives you that artist feeling. So I am happy about that. But there's a lot of like spraying and splattering, which obviously I'm also happy about. But I kind of wish I had my high flow acrylics, because some of them I really know the colors well, and I love how they look and how they behave. So adding a glaze or something like this would be so much simpler with those materials. And I don't want to, like, I want to say I didn't have a chance to buy them and use them, which is not true, because yesterday we went to Boesner, like me and my friend that is also doing the course with me, that recommended the course to me. We went to the art store, and yeah, so hopefully I can insert some videos for you here. It is humongous. I think it's the biggest one in Vienna. I've only been to two shops. I don't know, maybe there's actually another Boesner somewhere, I can't remember. But in recent years I've only been to 2 shops, and the Boesner one is like huge, and it has everything there. Like, I don't know, like 2 huge aisles of just like brushes, and 1 huge aisle of watercolors, and I don't know how many of like acrylic paint and medium and sketchbooks and pencils and anything and everything. We didn't have a lot of time in there, which is probably good, and we bought just like a few pigments and a few containers. We bought cobalt violet, but of course, and today I used it a bit. That made me very happy. And I also bought 3 pencils, which I'll probably show you when I'm home. Yeah, but I didn't, you know, actually I didn't think I would need my acrylics or that I would want them so much, like my high flow acrylics. So I didn't feel the need to buy them. But today I was just like really, oh, I wish I had some green gold here or some Nicolazo gold, I think is a good color. It was a really challenging day because it's time to be more intentional and think more. And yeah, I think I'm the only one in the class that uses pink or violet, but everyone is using kind of earth tones. And I can appreciate it. I mean, I have a couple of paintings that are my the instructor's favorites, which are to me, I can appreciate them, but it's not my, you know, color story. And you'll see them in the videos. They have the color story is just like turquoise and then some, you know, dark brown and a bit of like yellow. So tomorrow we're going to start burning the paintings. So I thought I would wait and see what are the next steps before I make some progress. And then I have 4 other canvases that have more of my colors, and I don't know if I want to burn them. Maybe 1 that I'm not feeling too attached to, because the burning thing, it makes it kind of dark, so I don't know. But there is one I'm really happy about, which I think is already like a victory, right? And I think also I can't mess it up too much from now on. So there's just like one area of it that I want to work on, but I'm kind of super happy with it. So hopefully I can finish it tomorrow, and then maybe, I think on Friday, the last day of the course, today is Wednesday, I think on Friday we're going to kind of cover them with just like a protective layer to seal everything. So that one I can see it kind of finished. I would like to frame it. I don't want to frame it with like glass or something, but I would like to add a wooden frame around it, like just some natural wood. I think it would really complement the colors. And yeah, so that one I'm excited about. And yeah, tomorrow is another day and we're gonna burn stuff. And I think in the evening, everyone in the class, I think the plan is that we're going to have like dinner together because it's our last evening, and then Friday is the last day of the course. So I think that's it for today. I will maybe check in tomorrow, and yeah, see you tomorrow. Good morning. It is day 4. Probably you can hear the wind, so we'll see. But I just had breakfast with my friend here in this coffee place, which is called Neni. It's very nice. They have an outside sitting area, but right now it's a bit chilly. But look how pretty. You can see the Prater and Vienna. Great location. Good morning. It is the last day of my course. Sorry about the glasses. Yeah, I'm soon leaving my hotel and going to the course. And I think today, I don't think I have a lot to do on my paintings, like paint-wise. Yesterday we burned the paintings, which was interesting. So it's actually a really cool technique, and it gives you like a really cool effect, especially this part of it that, yeah, if you kind of put away the fire before all of the material burnt, then you get a really cool effect. I'll show you that on my paintings, hopefully, when I'm back home with all of the babies, the new babies. So I made 6 canvases. I'm pretty happy with probably 3 of them. I'm like really happy, and I can see it, you know, finished hanging in my space. And then there are 3 that I'm a little bit like not sure about that. So the first 2 days were kind of, you know, it was like we did a lot of the work, but it was kind of foundation, just starting with the texture layers. And then that was day 1, and then day 2 we started like adding color. But then day 3 and day 4 became, you know, just like there was less going on. There was, at least for me, I don't know about the other people, but for me it was just like more thinking, what does the painting need? What do I want to add? And trying to kind of see the next step. I have mixed emotions about acrylics. Certain things I really like about them, and others I really, really don't. I think what I especially liked about the course and the techniques that I learned was, well, the artist that teaches the course, first of all, he uses like a lot of very, besides building the texture and the dimension in the beginning, which I'm also a little bit ambivalent about it. I like it, I guess, in a subtle way. I'm not a huge fan, just like my personal taste. Other people love that. I'm not a huge fan of like really, really thick textures on my paintings. I really like the flatness, but I also can appreciate a few of the possibilities of adding some texture to your painting. I'll show you all the things that I really enjoyed in the paintings, probably in a separate video, because this week-long vlog will get just too long. So I like that he uses like multiple layers with a lot of water, and things are running. I mean, it's like watercolor, right? I mean, that's, to me, that's mesmerizing, therapeutical, magical, just watching paint flow. So I really like how he does that, and I can definitely see myself, if I want to use more acrylics, it'll definitely be more in the direction of like fluid acrylics, or this kind of technique, which was the other thing that I really liked, was that we mixed our own paints from pigments. So what I like about it, I really like the flexibility that it gives you, and also the results with certain pigments, exactly like in watercolors. You just get a more grainy look, a grainy texture. For example, we're using this one black, and also blue called Parisian blue or Paris blue, that I'm not sure which pigment that is, but I know that Schminke has a watercolor called Paris blue, and I'm pretty sure that's Indanthrone blue PB60. I didn't check the one that we're using, because mostly I'm using my friend Eva's paints, so she very generously let me use hers. We did buy a couple of new pigments, which I'll show you. Let's all put money on the fact that I bought Cobalt Violet. I mean, that was kind of obvious, but yeah, so that was something I was very, very excited about and very happy. And the reason is that it's just, it kind of, for me, it was one of those things I wasn't sure how to do it. I didn't want to like really get into it because pigments are very expensive. They usually, at least at the art store where I can get mine, they come in these like big containers. Some are cheaper than others, and some companies have like smaller jars, but still you're talking about, the cheap pigments start from like, you know, $10 for a jar, and if you want to have like a lot of colors, and then it goes up and up. Like you can have pigments for 70 euros a jar. I mean, those are like the really expensive ones, but a lot of the pigments cost for a jar like, you know, 30, 40 euros. That's quite standard. I mean, you get a lot, but it also, you know, if you want to have like 15, 20 colors, I mean, it's a big expense. But when you're painting big, it's a really great way to go. And especially for someone like me, that I really enjoy more the like fluid acrylics. First of all, fluid acrylics, the ones that I'm familiar with from companies like Golden, they're super expensive, especially here in Europe. I mean, Golden is an American brand, so you have to import these. Very, very expensive. And then the local brands, like the European brands, I don't think they make, I haven't seen like liquid acrylics the way that I like them. I love the Golden fluid acrylics and high flow acrylics. I love, love, love those, and have had a few for years and years and years. Really, really love them. But from what I've seen, a lot of European companies have acrylic inks, which are also lovely and behave very similarly, if not identically, but they come in these little tubes. They're very concentrated, but still they come in like little cute glass jars that I just don't see it working on like a big canvas. So I'm really, really happy that he showed us how to mix our own paints. It's at least the way that, you know, that we used it, it's not complicated at all, and you can do it a lot by like feel, and you can replenish your, you know, paint, and it stays usable, you know, as long as you have like enough water or binder or both in it. It can stay usable for a pretty long time. So I'm very, very happy about that. I love painting on canvases, and I actually especially love painting on unprimed canvases, even though they kind of soak up more of the paint, but it just gives you I guess a finish that reminds me more of watercolors. It's a lot of that, like, you know, thick plastic paint that I don't like. And I actually did make a mistake with one of my paintings, and I just kind of put a thick layer of white because I was just like, cover that, cover that. And yeah, it just doesn't work as well when you're working with like, it doesn't work as well as just using like really, really watery layers of paint. It just looks completely different. It's a lot more similar to watercolors than, you know, like thick plastic paint, which is basically what acrylic is. So there are a lot of things that I'm really excited that I learned. There are also a lot of things that I felt like all my years of painting in watercolors and kind of skills and strategies that I use were still helpful. But yeah, obviously, you know, these are like new to me things. And I'm happy that at least I made a couple of paintings that I'm, you know, happy to hang in my home. And then a few others are, you know, just like a learning experience. I think it's very unrealistic to expect that everything you make will be amazing. No one does that unless, you know, you kind of have a formula that you just do again and again and again. And I'm not judging anyone, but for me, it's just like less fun. So, you know, of course, I could repaint a painting that I like over and over with slight changes, but that's not just usually how I work. And I definitely was inspired to buy, I want to buy a larger canvas to hang in our living room. I know exactly on which wall, and I know exactly what kind of colors I want to use. I'll talk to you a little bit more about colors when I show you my paintings, and I'll tell you which pigments I used for which, you know, painting. So I kind of have an idea about the color scheme because I wanted to match our furniture, and I'm really excited about that because that wall has been empty since we moved to our house 11 years ago, 10 years ago, and now I can see it already like becoming something. So I'm happy about that. But yeah, I'm soon checking out and going to the course. So maybe I'll take some pictures or like a short video there. But if not, then probably I'll just see you in another video talking about the paintings. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed coming along sort of this week. I kind of wish I did a bit more touristic stuff, but honestly, I was just, you know, it was just like sometimes spending the entire day. I'm used to being, during the week, I'm used to being home alone, yeah, in the mornings, and kind of doing my thing. And this week I was with people like all day long, and then sometimes, and the weather was pretty bad most days. So when we were done, I just wanted to like crawl in bed and just enjoy the silence. Or we crashed on my iPad, but I just didn't feel like going out and about. So I'm sorry about that. Hopefully I'll be back in Vienna soon, and yeah, maybe can show you a bit more of this beautiful, beautiful city. I've been here many, many, many times. So I just like this week was just about the art. And yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for coming along, and I'll see you soon in another video. Bye.